talk about an irresponsible janitor. At this point, I think it's pretty clear that all the animatronics are deadly. But Nicolas Cage, he has a mission. It's to clean, not to kill animatronics. So he ignores the rest of them, as if they're not deadly, and continues to clean. You'd assume that after Nicolas Cage destroyed Ozzy the Ostrich and Urinal stomped the gorilla, that the rest of them would just gang up on Nick. Because he's clearly not going to die very easily. But, they don't. Yeah, they don't do that. I'm assuming they've never had trouble killing people until now, which is kind of hard to believe based on how they're trying to kill Nick. You know what I mean? The final boss in this movie is Willie the Weasel. Throughout the movie, Nicholas and Willie have staring contests. It's kind of cute. There's a scene of Nick filing his fingernails with sandpaper, and it really bothered me. Look at how dry and irritated his fingers look. Jesus, why was he filing his fingernails with sandpaper? I don't get it. It's out of nowhere, and they left it in the movie. You know that scene of Nicolas Cage filing his fingernails with sandpaper? Now that was necessary. It's very important to his character development. Another massive defining character trait for Nicolas Cage's character in this movie is crushing his punch soda cans. Yeah, he crushes them real good, and he does it over and over again, because that's what a badass would do. You don't just throw away the can, because it would take up too much space, you know? You gotta crush it first. So it takes up a decent amount of space in the trash bag. I love how Nick desperately wants the place to be spotless, regardless of the fact that he's being hunted by animatronics. Do you think he just figured that the owner didn't know that his animatronics killed people? Maybe he just didn't know. Yeah, I think it leans more towards Nick just wants to do his job that he's there to do. You know, he's in there to clean and get out and get his car and be on his way. That's it. So the kids show up late at night to light the building on fire. They pour the gas all over the side of the building. Only after pouring the gas does Liv tell them that they can't light it because there's a guy inside it that they have to save. Oh, wouldn't that be, like, nice to know before getting there? Why wouldn't she tell these people that they have to save the guy inside the building first before lighting the building on fire? She just figured that she'd tell them after they already poured the gasoline on the building. You know gas dries up and then you won't be able to light it, right? Like, now you're on the clock. So, okay, so they're dumb kids. Makes sense. The front door is locked, so Liv traveled through a vent to get inside. This is one of those scenes that is, like, suspiciously similar to FNAF, because they regularly do things with vents in those games. So, it's kind of hard to believe after seeing this scene that it's not inspired at all by FNAF, but whatever. So yeah, obviously there's an animatronic in this vent, and it crawls after Liv. It's Artie the alligator. Yeah, you guys see a name with their names? If you made it this far in the video, type thanks for the review, Alan the alien, and I'll make sure to heart at least one of them. You get it, right? Like Alan the alien. The both start with A. So Artie the alligator chases Liv out of the vent. She lands in a misty forest-type room where Sarah the siren is hanging out. Sarah starts toying with Liv until she pulls her to the ceiling. Nick finds his way into the forest room, and Liv drops down on top of him. It's kind of awkward. Like, was this supposed to be sexual? I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. I don't think it was supposed to be, but it's still kind of weird. Liv tells Nick that they need to find a way to get out of there. Nick doesn't want to. He's not done cleaning, so he turns around and he's like, yeah, no, I have some cleaning to do. The next scene shows the rest of the kids on top of the building. The night sky in the background is so fake, it's laughable. They debate on whether or not they should go after Liv. Two of the guys have a disagreement, so one of them tackles the other, and they fall through the roof into a ball pit. I guess the roof is compromised now, so the rest of the kids also fall through the roof into another ball pit. What? What the heck? That's so dumb, dude. What are the odds of that happening? Come on. This movie is very goofy, and I don't think it was taking itself too seriously. I appreciate that, but it's also really stupid. And I don't think being goofy is a good enough excuse for a bunch of plot contrivance. contrivances. So they're all in this main hall area. All the animatronics are now standing up on the stage. Liv notices Sarah up there, so she runs up to stab her. And then Nick stops her at the last second. Because if someone's going to destroy property in this place, it's going to be Nick, not you. I honestly have no idea why he stopped her right here. Maybe he was protecting her. I don't know. Maybe he stopped her because if he stabbed her, then they would all come to life and gang up on them or something. I mean, why would you have to attack them for them to attack you? That doesn't make any sense. It's so funny how he stops her, too. He grabs her arm, and then he throws her over his shoulder and brings her over to where the kids are and drops her.
Oh, bro, what the fuck, man?
Come over to you. Now, stay. Maybe Nick just wants to kill them all himself. Maybe he enjoys doing it. That's probably what it is. He doesn't want the property destroyed unless they attack him. You know, he's on staff. It's his ass if the property is damaged. He takes her knife from her, which is weird. Like, clearly you don't need it. You literally killed this animatronic gorilla with a plunger and your boot. So, I don't know what a knife will do for you. I think she needs it a lot more than you do, man. It's kind of rude. Two of these kids are named Bob and Kathy. They're both absolutely moronic. So they find themselves in the super happy fun time room. Basically, this is where all those evil people kill themselves. Kathy thinks that's hot. She's horny, so she's like, hey, Bob, are you getting horny right now, or is it just me? And then Bob's like, oh, so you're a freak freak.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, guys. I'm just editing you right now. Let's go. Way to go. Have you had this great night? Where you going? Somehow. Nice. Wow, that's 800 cruisers to ride. Hey, buddy, where you go? Stand by your wall. Where you go, it's calling. I'm in the heart of Shanghai. Hey, where are you going? Yeah, that is.
No. Kidding. This is
Take the left side. Hey, go. Is that a Hong? Hey, where are you going? So they decide to bang in the room, despite the fact that there's killer animatronics just wandering around, so that wasn't the smartest idea. The next animatronic to attack them is Nighty Night. He stabs one of the kids through his chest with a giant foam sword. The movie regularly tries to convince us that the foam swords and the foam claws are real and they can do a lot of damage. I've seen more convincing weapons at a LARPing event. It's kind of silly that they're trying to convince me that these are real. And are you telling me that this Nighty Night had a real-ass sword this entire time? When this was a place for children, like before evil people came here, this knight just had a big ass sword, and the claws and the beaks and everything on these animatronics are real. How is that not a safety concern for the children? Only the alligator shows up in the room where Bob and Kathy are banging, and she's like, "It's staring at us." And Bob goes, "Well, then let's get this over. It's break time for Nick, so he's just enjoying some pinball. Like, really enjoying it. He's got some sort of pinball fetish. I'm not sure what it is. Pinball ain't this fun, dude. Chill. Sarah the Siren and Tito the Turtle tag team this random kid. And now Nick's prank is done, so it's back to work. So he smashes the knight's head against the wall into an oily pulp and then chops its head off with its own sword. He stands there all menacingly. And oh shit, his shirt is all dirty now. Again, how many times does he have to change this movie? Like 10? It's despicable. How is a janitor around this place supposed to remain presentable? Come on now. Marty the alligator is finally done wanking in the corner, so he attacks and kills Bob and Kathy. Nick and Liv hear them dying in there, so Nick kicks the door down. Just kicks it down. It looks like our boy Artie is in trouble now. I kind of like this One Punch Man thing this movie is doing. For some unbeknownst reason, this random middle-aged man that isn't even well built. Like, he's just this random guy, right? But for some reason, he's amazing at destroying these animatronics. So yeah, he just waltzes in and rips open Marty's jaw and leaves. He's like, alright, there's another one.
bro, come on, bro.
Camera
That niggas is bums, pure fucking bums. Nah, no fucking way. Nah, here. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Hey, dropping nothing. We're working on a project. This telescoping magnetic pickup tool from Harbor Freight is going to be your new best friend. Expands to over 29.5 inches and easily retrieve dropped items. Get yours for only $4.99 at your local Harbor Freight.
Million brought so much for everyone, like healing, opportunity, friendship. For outdoors, for everybody type. We wanted to kind of launch in a way because it was our first festival, so we didn't really know how festival people dressed up, but we could know how Italian people dressed up.
Very spooky, I know. You guys like the new setup I did? I did it specifically for this video. I know. Don't tell me you're impressed. I know. I wanted to do something.
Bro, come on. What the fuck is going on, bro? What the fuck?
No, this is our first time watching a Nicolas Cage movie. We've seen Mom and Dad. Oh, yeah, you take your right. And we've also seen Mandy. Both movies I love dearly for different reasons. This movie kind of leans towards the Mandy side. It's a little bit more eerie. It's not as heavy metal. It's a little bit creepier, you know. It's more on the horror side. You're still going to get some of that goony Nicolas Cage. But, yeah, this movie is something else. And I thought, you know, it might be fun to react to something that I actually like once in a while. There's still going to be some goofs, don't worry. This movie has some ridiculous scenes. It felt like this movie was crafted by the gods for me, because I love Lovecraftian horror. I love Lovecraftian horror. And the author himself, not so much. I hear he's a bit racist. Don't believe me? Look up the name of his cat. Let's go. Yeah. But when it comes to weird shit, this guy had quite the imagination, and that's what he's known for. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Lovecraft horror. Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time, and that game is heavily inspired by Lovecraftian horror. If you haven't played that game, shame on you. Go play it. Right now, I even play the mediocre games like The Sinking City and Call of Cthulhu. They were okay, you know. I probably like them more than the average person would, just because I liked what it's based off of. The reason Lovecraft decided to write this story is because he's not a huge fan of humanoid aliens. He didn't think it was very realistic. And I know this is Lovecraft we're talking about, but he thought an alien should be something that is incomprehensible to the human mind. And his goal when he created the color was to create an entity that was truly alien, trying to describe a color that's outside of the visible spectrum, one that can alter matter and the things around them, a truly strange force that is unlike anything that we know. And I think he achieved that very well. To me, Nick Cage is such a weird actor. Because early on in my life, I respected him and the roles he took. You know, he was in some good movies like Face Off and stuff like that. And then later on in his career, he started to become a little bit of a meme. I mean, he was always kind of a meme, but he wasn't as much of a meme as he is now. But then he started Mandy, which is a fucking awesome movie, and then he started this movie, which is also really cool. So basically what I'm saying is, give Nick Cage more indie horror, please. Put this man in really weird movies, because he's made for it. This dude's demeanor just complements these movies for some reason. And oh my god, the jacket that he wore when they premiered this movie. look at this thing. It's pretty cool. I bet he felt super badass. I don't think Color Out of Space is Nick Cage's best performance, but I still think he was pretty good. The director, Richard Stanley, is a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan ever since he was a kid.
I read it when I was 13 years old. I'm introduced to Lovecraft. So I'm excited about that.
And I think that passion really shows in this movie. And apparently Nick Cage is also a really big fan of H.P. Lovecraft, and he brought a lot of that passion into this movie as well. And you can tell.
I'm really trying to do my best.
I myself love the short story. If you haven't read the short story, you should. They give you a very basic rundown. Color Out of Space is the tale of a meteorite that lands near the Stanley's farm. A husband, his wife, and their 3 kids live there. This meteorite is very strange. It's
Are
not
you
like any rock that
fucking
any person has ever seen before. And it slowly goes
Holy
away.
the fucking cow, bro.
As the story progresses, a lot of weird shit starts to happen. Like weird plants start growing, the livestock around the farm starts to go insane, the alien thing that was in the meteorite finds its way in the family's well, and it poisons their water. So as the family drinks the water, they start going insane, and then it starts like deforming their bodies. It leaves behind this huge area of just nothing but death. The dead area is known as the Blasted Heath, and the people in the surrounding area call it the Strange Days. So yeah, that's basically the story. Before watching the new Color Out of Space movie, there's this older version that's in black and white. It was directed by someone named Juan Vu. It's a more faithful adaptation of the story, so if you want something that jumps from the page onto the screen, I would almost suggest it over the Nick Cage movie if all you're looking for is an adaptation from the book. I don't think it's as entertaining as the new one. It doesn't have Nick Cage, for one. And some scenes in this movie look like they were filmed in front of a really terrible green screen, like the background.
Please stop reaching. Stop fucking reaching.
Terrible.
You don't have to jump. Use the analog stick. Use the analog stick. You do not have to jump. My fucking god, bro, do you love that spot, my nigga?
Honey and Jack.
But every time you go over there, you go out of fucking bounds, bro. Oh my fucking god, bro.
So he's being, I guess, Jack is the stereotypical dumb kid. That's basically his entire character. I don't think there's anything else to him. Nathan is a caring father who carries
Fucking kidding me, yo.
his own father who's abusive towards him, and he tries his best to like push that part of him away, but his father is still in him somewhere. I thought that was a cool dynamic that wasn't in the book, but was introduced here. And Nick Cage said in one of the interviews that he borrowed a character that he played in Vampire's Kiss to use in this movie because he thought they coincided pretty well.
Richard is a basically she's here.
My fucking god, bro.
There is a collection of some boys in my head.
Nathan's animus sight, Nathan. I still wouldn't ask that person to partake in such a miserable job as long as you were around. And then Teresa is an overworked wife. The scene of
Let me inbound it. Just spread the fuck out. Spread, bro. Jesus, man. Jesus, man.
I love the colors that they used. It was a really impactful scene. And when you're watching it, you're like, oh, this shit's going down. Something's happening. I don't know what, but something's happening. The color that's used to
Oh my god, bro.
the alien color is magenta. And then
Give me the fucking ball, you stupid
it
fuck.
does not exist for a single wavelength of light as part of the color spectrum of visible light. Rather, it's like an extra spectrum